26 years ago, the Rav-4 made its debut in North America. Being often considered as the first compact SUV made, the Japanese company Toyota has set the model with their Rav-4. Now, selling close to $500,000 a year, does the Rav-4 still deserve its hype in 2021 model? Hey guys, so welcome back to our channel, and if you guys have been watching our YouTube videos, you know that we usually don't do car reviews, but since other tech channels are getting into the business of reviewing cars, we decided to give it a try. Before we get started, what we have here is the 2021 RAV4 XLE, and it's of course a hybrid. And in terms of design, this has a white interior with different sections of black that make it look so much better. And this might be the best black and white combo on a car, maybe except to the Jeep Grand Cherokee. So on the logo, there's a blue outline to signify, of course, it's a hybrid car. And there's also a camera module for lane keeping assist that makes you know because it's constant beeping. In front, you can see that there are LED headlights that are on either sides of the aggressive front grille that works really well with the SUV. And there are also fog lights on either sides on top of the all-season 17-inch wheels, and this of course is an all-wheel drive because, as I said before, it's an XLE. If we open the hood, there's a 4-cylinder 2.5-liter engine that is capable of producing 219 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque with 2 electric motors that can stand alone for a limited time without the need of the engine. The motors are located under the seat of the rear passenger seats, and by doing this they save some cabin space. On the top there are luggage mounts and the shark fin on top. In the less intimidating rear, there are 2 exhaust and power lift gates that can be opened with the press of a button. Once opened, you can see the dual cargo mat that can be turned upside down depending on your situation. Also, we have a seasonal mat we got with the addition with our add-ons, and the large 37.6 feet of cargo space. The rear seats, you can give up to an additional 69.8 cubic feet. There's also a cover here to provide your belongings and provide a shade for your groceries. And there's a cigarette lighter port here and a sneaky light here that can be turned on by clicking like so. Moving on to the inside of the car, it has soft touch interiors that replaces the plastic interiors of other cars. It also doesn't have the leather seats, but the cloth seats still look good. Also, since we got the convenience package, we have a moonroof that can be controlled from here and a button to open the trunk. The steering wheel has an industry standard of 14.5 inches. Some of the noticeable aspects include the up and down, left and right, and the middle OK button, answering a call, putting your volume down, and you can set different modes, cruise control, and all the other stuff. Next, you can see what I believe is the outdated 7-inch display, considering that there are still physical buttons on the sides. Come on, Toyota, catch up. But it still also gets the job done with its capabilities of Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. With the display, you can go to the different home button menu, audio, and map, if you have the map option, if you're willing to spend the extra. And you can also get Sirius XM and even a Wi-Fi hotspot complementary to the XLE model. So in front of the steering wheel, we also have the vertical display that shows the speed limit when you're on different roads and updates, which is really cool. And it also shows your miles per gallon and how you are doing in your driving. It tells you if you're doing more in eco mode or if you're like wasting fuel by doing stuff. And it gives you a rating after each drive. And also you can see beside it is like your speedometer, your eco rating, if you're in power eco, and also the temperature of your engine, and if your fuel is low. And depending on this card, we can get up to 40 miles per gallon, which is really great. And with the additional electric motors, we can get additional miles, which makes it so much better. And in terms of the audio system, we have an average 6-speaker sound system that could be upgraded to the JBL speakers if you're willing to take the RAV4 Prime, which is an excellent but pretty expensive model. And the car also has multiple driving modes with sports, eco, and normal. There is also an EV mode here if you want to use the electric motors only. This usually turns off if you accelerate too much, which you can be seen beside the vertical screen. And so since it does that, I think it's better to drive in a neighborhood. And otherwise, the car automatically switches between the engine and electric motors through its ECVT technology. And the ports on the car are USB and cigarette lighter port, and also 2 USBs back here. In the rear seats, your passengers can get a great amount of space, even for the unlucky person sitting in the middle. Plenty of legroom and headspace for all the passengers, no matter the height. And in addition, there is also cup holders. They can be open like so for the passenger, and also 2 USBs for the passengers to use to charge their phone and etc. Now, turning on the car, you can barely hear it start since it uses the electric motors once it starts and kicks in the engine when you can't handle it anymore. For example, If you, for example, if you turn the heat all the way up, you can hear that the engine starts kicking in. Turn that up. And right now you can hear that the engine started kicking in. That's because we put too much on the electric motors since they can handle so much. And so the engine, you can see on the screen that the engine is powering the battery and the car right now. There's also the hold button here if you are too lazy to hold the brake at a stop sign. And in addition to the eco mode that you can preset, there's also the eco heat and cool mode, which saves an extra amount of gas for you so that you're not spending like $100 or $50 just filling a gas tank. And with all of that said, it gives you an amazing miles per gallon of 40 combined. And on top of that, there's the sunglass holder right here, and there's also the windshield right here that, which is cool, can be extended in case maybe there's like light over there blocking you. And also you can see here that if you open this, there's a light over here, which is pretty innovative that I never seen on another car company before. And if you close it, it automatically turns off. So riding the car, it's actually really comfortable, and you can see that the engine is on right now. And also the battery is getting powered by the engine, which is really nice. And right now the battery doesn't have enough power to power the engine, even though I'm going under like 20. And it's a really comfortable ride, and it's really modern with its amazing lane keeping. And if I went off a lane, it will automatically let me know, which is a really nice feature of the car. And the steering is really great also. And with the engine, there's some drawback, which is if you press the accelerator, you can hear that the engine sound is high, which is a really bad thing, but I guess you can see that maybe as a good thing if you wish. But most cases, considering that this is a small family SUV, you shouldn't be able to hear that much of a noise from the car. But with the electric engine on, it is the quietest car that I ever rode. And sometimes it makes like this sound that almost sounds like there's a police behind us, which could be seen as a drawback, but it's also sometimes scary, especially if you're riding in the dark and you hear that sound. But this car is really comfortable, not gonna lie. And I think it deserves being in its competitive class with the Honda CR-V and the Mazda CX-5. And this might even come on top.
Now, it's a time that you guys have been waiting for, the 0 to 60 test. So, before going through this, you're not going to expect to get like 2 seconds like a Tesla Plaid, but here we go. 3, 2, 1. And came at a respectable 7.8 seconds. Not bad.
Hey guys, so if you are like the 1% of people who are still watching till the end of the video, just want to give out a big thanks. And of course, if you're watching this, why didn't you subscribe? And that is a real question. But other than that, this will not be our last if you guys still like this video, and many more to come. So make sure to click that subscribe button. But other than that, bye.